What makes a great villain? In some comic book movies, the bad guy is so awesome that he overshadows the hero, but most of the time, most of the time. There are three main aspects to a great villain. They have to be a powerful threat to the hero, have a sympathetic backstory, and serve the overall theme of the film. Other MCU villains fit into some of these categories, but Killmonger is the first that truly fits all three. Loki, for all his cunning, never feels like a real threat to Thor. He's fun to watch, and he has a sympathetic backstory, which is why he's morphed into more of an anti-hero in the last two Thor films. I mean, think about it. In the first Thor, Loki was just jealous of his brother and wanted his dad's approval.
No, Loki.
And in the Avengers, he was a terrible general who underestimated his enemies. Killmonger, on the other hand, is terrifying. He's got the standard, highly trained special forces item on his villain resume, but his self-mutilation scars take it a step further. They're a visual reminder of his ruthlessness. For every kill, he scarred himself until his skin has an inhuman, reptilian appearance. We're introduced to him in a museum as the curator's explaining African history. This is when we find out that he's not just ruthless, he's clever. This entire scene is a microcosm for the strategy he uses to take over Wakanda. First, he eliminates the leaders, the museum worker and T'Challa. Then, he takes advantage of the ensuing chaos to seize the vibranium for his own ends. He pursues the throne relentlessly.
I lived my entire life waiting for this moment.
Most villains just threaten the hero's girlfriend, but Killmonger kills his own girlfriend just so he can earn Wakandan street cred with Klaue's corpse.
Even to a guy like me, that's cold.
His waterfall duel with T'Challa is heart-wrenching because the hero is no match for him. He doesn't just beat T'Challa, he humiliates him.
Is this your king?
But the key moment in this fight is when Forrest Whitaker's character Zuri intervenes. Killmonger says, "I'll kill you too, Uncle James." That reminds us that Killmonger isn't simply evil. He was betrayed. He trusted Zuri, his Uncle James, but he was abandoned by his family. He's been screwed over by the heroes. And when the writers create sympathy for the villain, they're telling the audience, hey, the bad guy deserves to win. And then subconsciously we realize the hero is in big trouble. Killmonger is a more sympathetic villain than Loki. And sure, Loki grew up in the shadow of an older brother, but he was still raised as a prince of Asgard. And we don't see the specifics of Killmonger's upbringing, but I'm betting it was way worse than gallivanting across the 9 realms with the Warriors 3. Sympathy is important in the villain because we need to understand their past suffering and why they chose an evil path. For instance, Magneto spent part of his childhood in a concentration camp, and that shaped his worldview. And Malekith grew up in darkness, so he's really into darkness. Killmonger wants justice for his family and his people. The key scene is when he meets his father in the spirit realm. T'Challa met his ghost dads on a lush African plain, but N'Jobu is trapped in the small Oakland apartment where he was killed. He tells Killmonger, if you're here with me, then you're alone and lost. But Killmonger says no. Everyone else is lost, and that's why they can't find us. Killmonger believes that the rest of Wakanda is lost because they're out of touch with black people around the world. Klaue tells Killmonger, to the Wakandans, you're just another outsider, meaning they don't see color, they see nations. This is the internal conflict of Wakanda, nationalist identity versus racial identity. Wakanda has sat by while slavery, Jim Crow, segregation, and assassinations have decimated African American communities. And this is Killmonger's second sympathetic motivation. His stated goal is to lead 2 billion people out of oppression. The goal of conquering for the greater good is shared by some of the greatest comic book villains, including Dr. Doom, Loki, and Magneto. When Killmonger confronts the Tribal Council, he says that life started on this continent and that all people are your people. And this goes back to the central theme of identity. Early in the film, Nakia tells T'Challa,
you get to decide what kind of king you are going to be.
Since T'Challa is Wakanda, this means the nation must also choose its path. Will they keep their utopia for themselves or make the world a better place? This question permeates Black Panther. Consider when Everett Ross is injured by Killmonger. They debate whether to bring him back to Wakanda to heal him. By doing so, they will reveal their nation to a government operative. But they will save his life. And in a larger sense, how many lives would they save by revealing themselves? T'Challa and Killmonger's costumes are another bit of clever symbolism for their worldviews. T'Challa chooses the silver necklace over gold because he doesn't want to be noticed. Killmonger chooses the golden suit because he wants to reveal Wakanda's wealth to the world. They're kind of like the J. Cole and Lil Uzi Vert of the MCU. Killmonger's goals also serve the central theme of the film. He doesn't see nations, he sees skin color. His plan is to dissolve Wakanda's borders by spreading them across the planet. When he takes the throne, the camera is upside down and slowly rotates 180 degrees, symbolizing Wakanda is changing and the world order is about to be reversed. It also symbolizes that Africa is about to be on top. Killmonger says at one point, "I know how the colonizers think and will use their own weapons against them." Ironically, that's how he dies, killed by his own knives. T'Challa argues to Killmonger that we'll become like the people you hate, and though Killmonger's motivations seem noble, he wants to colonize the rest of the planet and take revenge on his oppressors. At one point, Killmonger declares that the sun will never set on the Wakandan Empire, and this was a goal of many of the colonial powers that he's fighting against. Appropriately, he dies watching the Wakandan sunset, so in a sense, he is watching the sunset on his own dreams of a Wakandan empire. Killmonger's viewpoint is what persuades T'Challa to open Wakanda to the world. When he says that Killmonger is a monster of our own making, it has a double meaning. T'Chaka didn't create Killmonger by abandoning him, but Wakanda created Killmonger when they abandoned the world. Killmonger is great because he challenges T'Challa physically and emotionally. The villain has fundamentally changed the hero's worldview, and that's something very few villains, not even Loki, are able to claim. T'Challa's words in the post-credits scene, "We are all one tribe," are an extension of Killmonger's views. However, rather than extending help to just one race, Wakanda will now help the entire world. Thanks for listening, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, and for Screen Crush, I'm Ryan Arey.